we've collected several phrases that we've just heard in conversations that are the kinds of things you're going to want to learn to use and understand so that you can sound more like an American. So why don't you get us started, Tiana?
So my first one is knockoff. And you might use this in a couple ways, like to knock something or someone off a pedestal, meaning you have really high expectations of them and then you don't anymore if you knock them off the pedestal. The second way is maybe in clothing or in fashion or just things you can buy in general. You could buy the brand name or you can buy the knockoff, which is similar to the brand name, the expensive version, but it's a little different and it's probably cheaper.
It's probably made by another company so that they can offer it at a lower price. My first one is to cry over spilt milk. You'll hear people say this when something has happened and they'll say, oh, well, it's no use crying over spilt milk. In other words, it's already done. Maybe it was a mistake, maybe it was something you really didn't want to have happen, but it's done now, so there's no sense crying about it.
Yeah. And my next one is one that I heard in a writing class recently. Someone wrote in their story that their character was sweating bullets, meaning
I do that sometimes.
they were sweating a lot. Maybe they were really nervous or exercising a lot. I don't know. But yeah.
The next one I heard in a conversation with a good friend of mine, and she said, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer, but in other words, she didn't want to say something that was a bummer or something that other people didn't want to hear, and so that's why she said, I don't want to be a Debbie Downer.
So my next phrase is, we'll cross that bridge when we get there, meaning that you shouldn't worry about it now. We'll worry about it when it happens, when we need to do something about it.
Exactly. And mine is a little bit similar. My next one is, I need to get my ducks in a row. We use this phrase when we aren't ready for something to happen or we're not ready to do something and we need to get maybe a number of things ready. Maybe we have a list of things we need to do before we can do whatever we're talking about. And so we'll say, I need to get my ducks in a row.
You can imagine like all the little ducklings following their mom.
It all works out well that way.
My next one is the light at the end of the tunnel. So you can think if like you're in a tunnel, everything's probably dark, but you can see the end because it's like a light at the end. And it's really meaning like hope. Even if everything's difficult right now, it'll be light in the end.
You could say this yourself about learning English. If you have been studying for a long time and you feel like you're getting to your goal, then you could say, I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely.
My next one is, again, similar to the one I said previously, except this time it's, I have a laundry list of things I need to do. It doesn't actually have anything to do with doing your laundry. It just means I have a lot of things I need to do, and usually when we say a laundry list, it's not necessarily things I want to do. I heard this one in a conversation about getting all the things the person needed to do medically, like getting blood drawn, going to appointments, that kind of thing.
Not so fun.
Yeah, no, not necessarily things you want to do. So you could say, I have a laundry list of things I need to have done first.
So my next phrase is, I bought it hook, line, and sinker. And another phrase that is kind of like this is, I really fell for it. So maybe if there was like a trick or someone maybe lied or something, but you believed them, or you felt that's a phrase where you were tricked and you believed it, then you bought it hook, line, and sinker. Maybe if you really, really believed it. So
my next phrase also uses the word hooked in a little bit of a different way. I was talking with someone and I said to them, why don't you give me a call when you get hooked up with that? And what I meant was, we were talking about something we needed to do together, but the other person needed to do something first with someone else. And so when I said, when you get hooked up with that, meaning when you've talked to the other person and you're ready to get together with me and do what we need to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right. The next one that I have is the cat's out of the bag. Maybe there was a secret or something you were trying to keep hidden. Like, sometimes people will say this if there's like a surprise party and you're throwing a party for someone, but they don't know about it. If they find out, if they discover that you're throwing a party, then the cat's out of the bag.
Yeah, and it's kind of a bummer. Like somebody told our secret.
You might say that, Susie let the cat out of the bag, meaning Susie told the secret.
Susie.
No, I'm sure Susie wouldn't do that.
No, she never lets the cat out of the bag. All right. My next one, I actually said to you a little while back, Tiana was having difficulty getting her Wi-Fi hooked up. And we had several conversations about it. She was talking to this same company, and it seems like it was one problem after another. And I said to her, it's not like this is rocket science. In other words, it's not like this is really difficult. And what I said was, people get their Wi-Fi hooked up all of the time.
Yeah.
So if you were going to use the phrase, it's not like it's rocket science, you mean this is something really common, or it's something that's not really difficult.
So this phrase is something that my mom says a lot when my stepsister is at home. She says, man, they went to town on those strawberries. So when we say they went to town, well, specifically on the strawberries, it means that they ate almost all of them, maybe all of them. So
yeah, so we did a video with Trinity in it. If you want to see that one, we'll link it to the little eye above here. But Trinity is my stepdaughter, and she loves fruit. And so it's true. I do say that. I'll say, wow, they went to town on the strawberries, or they went to town on the grapes. Maybe I bought several of them, and I thought that we would all get some, and one person ate them all. So.
Yeah.
This phrase is one that Tiana pointed out to me, one that I use a lot, and that is, oh my gosh, we have dust bunnies coming out of the woodwork. So we don't actually have bunnies or rabbits running around our house, but we call the dust that gets all together on the floor a dust bunny. And so I used to hear this a lot as a kid, and that's why I still say it. We have dust bunnies coming out of the woodwork is really just a way to say, I really need to vacuum, or I really need to sweep, or I'm really frustrated because my house is not as clean as I'd like it to be.
So we have more videos with some phrases like this, and we'll link it up here.
And we'd love to hear from you. Which one of these phrases was your favorite, or do you have dust bunnies coming out of the woodwork? Let us know in the comments below. We hope that this video was helpful for you. If it was, be sure to give us a thumbs up and subscribe. Click on the bell so you get notifications, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.
Bye.